So what were you doing in Louisiana for work?
I was working for an insulation company.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
What got you in insulation?
Well, so I was a safety director for like 7 years, I want to say, for a long time. And then I quit when I went on Exatlón on Telemundo, the reality show.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Oh, we got a lot to talk about.
Did you watch it or what?
Oh, yeah, Telemundo.
Hey, un poquito.
Well, I forget what.
A little bit.
Keep going.
So then I came back, and then some personal stuff happened. So then I went back to the plants, and then that's how I ended up in Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Very nice. So you have, it's BCN Supplements, right?
Right.
What does that stand for?
My name. Those are my initials.
Okay. Brianda, how do you?
Carrasco.
Okay.
Brianda Carrasco Nieto.
Awesome.
And it could also stand for Balanced Complete Nutrition. Or
I
Brianda
like what you-
Carrasco's Nutrition. So,
Oh,
kind
wow.
of play with it.
I like what you did there.
Yeah.
What are you claiming it as your name, though, right now?
Yeah, my initials. I mean, to be honest, it's my initials.
I want to hear you say your name.
I can say Brianda. How do you say your last name?
Carrasco.
Carrasco? Brianda Carrasco?
He's the whitest guy you'll
I am the whitest Mexican you've ever
I could
run
probably
into.
say it better, maybe.
Say it.
No,
Say it.
I'd have to say it again so I could repeat it.
Carrasco.
Carrasco.
There you
Carrasco.
go.
I got a better role than you, man.
He did roll it better.
Yeah.
So what made you want to, like, how did you start the supplement? Like, what made you want to get into the supplement market?
So I guess it all started back in like 2017. I used to compete. I used to do pageants. And then when I won Miss Houston Latina. And my director, she was into fitness competitions. So she got me into doing fitness competitions. So I was on stage a lot. I was always on a diet, and people would always ask me like, hey, do you sell a protein? Do you have your own product?
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know anything about business. I was just starting. And so that always stayed in the back of my mind. And when I went to Exatlón, I came back, I worked on a project when I came back. And then when they hired me, they were like, you're going to be laid off in November. That's when the project ends. So, they were like, save your money. I was like, okay, well, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
So come November, I got laid off. And this was just before COVID hit. So I was like, I want to take a few months off, and then I'll figure out what I want to do. Because I never really liked safety. I just kind of ended up there. And I just stuck with it because it was good money and it was a job. So,
Right.
So I got laid off, and then I was like, I'm going to take a few months, figure out what I really want to do. And then COVID hits. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm not going back to the plants anytime soon. I was like, okay, I have the time now. Because I was always busy. I was competing. I was working. I always had something going on. And I was like, okay, so I have time and I have the money. Like, everything just lined up. And I was asking myself, what do I want to do? And then I remembered, I was like, well, people used to always ask me about supplements. And it's something that I like. And that's how I was like, okay, but I don't even know where to start. And I had started dating my boyfriend in 2019. And he used to work at a supplement store when he was younger. So he was like, hey, I still know some people.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Advanced
yeah.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
Oh, right there
That-
in Lake Jackson.
That's a
Jackson.
local business too, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So then he contacted me with the owner. The owner put me in touch with the lab. And then I didn't know where to start with. So I was like, well, what do I personally take? Because I didn't want to do something that I wouldn't take myself. And I wanted to keep it really clean. Because being in the, competing, you see all kinds of stuff. You see people taking stuff or eating certain ways that is not good for them, and they end up messing their system up. So I was like, I wanted to be healthy, and but also effective. So something I always take is collagen. I don't want to say I'm vain, but I care about the way I look. So I was like, collagen is skin, hair, nails, but then there's also the fitness side of it, the joints and whatnot. So that was my first product.
That's really nice. Are you thinking of getting into other supplements like peptides are really popular now and things like that? I don't know about so much for weightlifting, but definitely for health and longevity.
Peptide? Well, the collagen is collagen peptides.
Oh.
And it's hydrolyzed.
Excuse me, I'm very stupid.
Yeah, so
That's what we're doing. We're learning.
Yeah, so educate us. What's the collagen is heavily geared towards women, right?
That's what you would think.
Yeah, that's what the media markets.
Yes, yeah, because I guess the nails, they grow really fast. The hair, it helps growth, and then it also helps with the skin. But it also helps with joints. And something my boyfriend was telling me, he didn't know about it before I told him about it, but he hurt. What did you hurt? Your shoulder? Yeah, his shoulder. So he has been having problems with that. And he said if I would have known about collagen back then, I would have been taking it. And a lot of guys think that it's for women, but collagen is a huge percentage of the protein in your body, whether you're a man or a woman. We all have it. It's like the glue that holds everything together.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't have long hair until the other day. I started taking collagen as your product. So like,
works good.
Works pretty good.
So what are the other supplements that you have so far under your line?
So far, I have an immune booster. So after I came out with the collagen, everybody was asking me, when are you coming out with the pre-workout? And I'm like, it's supposed to be about health. I'm like, that's not, a pre-workout isn't something healthy. So it was whenever COVID had just hit. So I was reading up on stuff, seeing what the doctors were saying. And then I also noticed that not a lot of people were pushing health. And it kind of like upset me a little bit because I was like, we should be pushing eating healthy. We should be pushing exercising. We should be pushing getting out there, not being stressed, taking vitamins. So I decided to do the immune booster. And I know that the pre-workout is what's going to probably sell the most. But to me, it's like it's about health. So that's what I came out with. And then now that that's out, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to make the pre-workout. But I want to make it as clean as possible. Yeah,
you could take a really good spin on it. And that's kind of ironic in the fitness industry. Some of these supplements, or probably a vast majority of them, aren't healthy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're just they're pumped with a bunch of caffeine and God knows what else in it.
Things that make you feel like it's working. Yeah. Because I'm thinking the good products, you're going to see them over a long period of time.
Right.
But like pre-workout, you start getting the tingles, you start to feel like you're about to die.
Yeah. So I wanted to focus on health. So that's why the slogan is built from the inside out. Yeah. So obviously I want everybody to look good, but I want them to be good on the inside as well. And I actually am doing a black label for the pre-workout. Okay. Because the other two is a white label, and then that way it'll differentiate between what is like just health and what's fitness.
Yeah.
Attention to detail.
Do you have a mentor that's like taking you along this ride, or are you just kind of learning as you go?
I'm just learning as I go, but I just met somebody. Her name's Crystal Sarmiento, and I'm going to start working with her because I feel like I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I need help. But for the past year and a half, I've just been figuring it out on my own.
Yeah. So as of right now, where are your supplements available at? Where could people buy them at?
They can go to the website, www.bcnsubs.com, or I have them at a nutrition depot in Pearland.
Okay.
I have them with my makeup artist, Makeup by Diego, my lash tech, little places around town, and I just need to make more time to go talk to more places because that's something that's also why I'm getting a business coach now, because I need to manage my time better. Yeah,
I was going to say, you could probably be doing a lot of in-person events and things like that, but I imagine COVID kind of put a ringer on that, right?
It did, yeah. We were at a Athletic Empire, and we were at a Total Nutrition. So we've only done 2 events so far.
Yeah. What are some key events that you want to get into or go to show BCN off?
Well, I guess eventually I'd like to go to like the big fitness competitions.
Like the Arnold Classic or something like that?
Yeah. The Olympia.
Yeah, CrossFit or something like that?
Yeah. I want to target everyone because it's health. I don't want people to see the brand and think it's fitness. It's health. It's for anyone and everybody.
Yeah. Do you run into anything, being on social media and being an attractive woman, do you run into other women or other men that that kind of get kind of intimidated by some of your photos or some of your posts or anything like that? So they kind of shy away because it's taking a step into the fitness world. It kind of looks all for vain. But you're taking a nice spin on it, being that it's for the healthy, for your actual good of your body. So how do you kind of balance that out?
Well, I actually had the girl who did my pictures. She said, she mentioned something. So she told me, she was like, make sure that you're not just taking pictures at the gym with your products, because she was like, for example, she's not really big into working out. she was like, I look at your product and I look at you and I think, oh, it's for people who work out. I don't know what it is, but it must be for people who work out. And so, yeah, I'm working on trying to not make it look that way and to make sure that I can reach to men and women and, well, over the age of 25, because that's really when our body stops producing, or it, you know, it doesn't produce as much anymore after the age of 25. So that's who I want to target.
Yeah, you're doing a good job with it, because I've noticed that your branding is not all gym photos, and it kind of looks like the everyday person. So I think you're doing that very well.
Yeah, thank you. And I try to post pictures of people who don't look like they go to the gym every day, or, you know, I'm like, it's for everybody. I don't care what kind of lifestyle you live. Everybody needs to, well, okay, I don't want to say I don't care what lifestyle you live. I want you to live a healthy lifestyle, but regardless of what your goals are. Right. Yeah.
Are you able to help a lot of people? Like, do people reach out to you for fitness advice and diet advice and stuff like that?
They do sometimes, and I try to help them with what I can, but I'm not an expert, so I'll usually refer them to somebody like, hey, this is the nutritionist I use, or this is the trainer I use. Or sometimes for people who can't afford a trainer, I'll post little reels like, hey, here's a workout. If you show up at the gym and you don't know what to do, just watch this video.
Yeah. Well, you're starting to get a pretty big social media presence. How is that going? Is it a lot of comments, a lot of responding? How's it feel?
It's not as much as when I was on the TV show. Like when I just got off the TV show, that was the first time I started getting negative comments and negative messages. Because before that, it was people who knew me and they followed me because they liked me. You know, you usually follow a page when you like somebody. But here, I was on TV, so they saw me on TV, so they went and followed. And, you know, that's when I started receiving negative comments or just really creepy guys. And and that was overwhelming. I would have a lot of messages, and I just stopped. Even to now, I don't receive as many messages, but I don't even open all my messages anymore. I don't check to see who follows me. Because during that time, it was just so overwhelming that for my mental health, I was like, I'm not even going to look at it.
That's good. We talk a lot about mental health on here because we kind of deal with it. So I was wondering how you deal with that. We've had a little bit of negative comments, but it's really easy to let that get to you and kind of ruin your day. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering how you kind of do that.
Yeah, and there were a lot of times when I wanted to respond because they would say the dumbest things. Some of the things they would say, it was like, something I get a lot is that, so I've been on a few podcasts, right, before this one, and it's come up that I'm very introverted or I'm shy. And they tell me, it doesn't seem like it because of your social media. It looks like you're outgoing and confident, which confidence doesn't have anything to do with whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, but, you know, they have this image of me, right? And sometimes people would comment, she didn't win the show because she wasn't humble. And I'm like, it was an obstacle course. What are you talking about? First of all. And second, how do you even know I'm not humble? You don't even know me. Yeah.
It's such a crazy thing, right? Social media. I feel it, especially for women, and especially for attractive women that kind of put themselves out there, kind of like you do. It's kind of a crapshoot of what kind of feedback you're going to get. For guys, it's kind of like, no one's really following us, checking up on us. But for females, the world is harsh on social media, right? Because everyone's a keyboard warrior, so no one really wants to be your friend on social media, or they can really not be your friend and take jabs at you all day,
or really not be a person.
Yeah,
could be just a bot.
Yeah, that's why if it just got to the point to where if they were leaving negative comments, I would either just delete them, or if it was someone who kept leaving negative comments, I would just block them. I wouldn't even respond. And something that really stuck with me, that one of the girls who was also on the show, she told us that her parents had told her, they were like, don't focus on the negative people. They were like, focus on the people who took time out of the day to comment something nice on your page and reply to those people. And they were like, the other ones, ignore them. And I was like, that's really good advice. So then that's what I started doing.
I believe you're doing that. It seems like you are, because you have to be overwhelmed with messages.
Yeah. And like I said, now it's not as much, and I stopped using Facebook for that reason as well, because it was just so many people on there. And now I feel bad because I know sometimes like people that I actually know will message me on there, but I just don't open Facebook anymore. Whatever I post on Instagram, automatically post on Facebook. but it just got to the point where people realized I'm not on there. So they stopped commenting and they stopped.
How for us, how annoying is posting? How just
It's
like cumbersome. Yeah, it's
so time consuming. Yes. Coming up with content, thinking about a caption. Yes. Yes.
For the viewers and listeners that don't know this competition, what competition were you in?
On the show?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a mixture of Survivor and Ninja Warrior. So,
Wow, that sounds hard.
it was. Especially because so I'll tell you the story. I was getting ready to compete at Dallas Europa. So I'm leaning out. I'm eating very little carbs, just depleted. And I get a message on Instagram from a producer. And he has the show that he wants to talk to me about. And I remember I was at work. I was doing safety. I was a safety director, and I was in my office. And I read the message, and I'm like, okay, you're right. And I put the phone down, and I go back to work, and I'm writing safety policies. And I'm like, I don't like this. So I'm like, let me just message him. Let me see what he says.
She went back. Okay. All right.
I'll fuck around with it.
So I messaged him back, and he sends me his number. He's like, call me so I can tell you about it. And I put it down again, and I'm like, nah. And I keep working. And I'm like, this is so boring. I'm like, fine, I'm going to call him. So I go outside, and I call him. And, he says he's from Telemundo. It's a new show. It's going to be the first season here in the U.S. He's like, go on YouTube and look up Mexico Exatlón, because Mexico had already done a season. So he was like, you'll be in the Dominican Republic. You won't be able to talk to anyone. We're going to take your cell phone away from you.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yes.
Being a woman, nope. See you later.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. I was like, let me go check it out. So I hang up with him. And I go back to my desk, and I YouTube it. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, he wasn't lying. I was like, he was for real. So the next few weeks was just me going back and forth. I'm like, what, do I want to leave my job? I'm like, I don't know what to do. So it was just a lot of back and forth. And finally I decided to do it. So I quit my job and I went on the show. And I knew I wasn't ready for it because of my condition. I was all depleted, but I was like, it's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not ready, but I don't know when they're going to ask me to be on TV again. So I'm going to go, and I'm just going to live the experience, and whatever happens, happens.
What does your family think? Is your family supportive of social media? Because I imagine being Hispanic, the classic old dad, especially like trying to be protective. Yeah. Are they supportive, or they just kind of like turn a blind eye to it?
No. So my dad passed away when I was little. So it's just
sorry
my mom.
To hear that.
It's okay. But my mom is super religious, super strict. So no, she's been against. When I did pageants, she wouldn't show up to them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, she was like, why are you up there in a bathing suit? That's not what God wants. And when I would do fitness, same thing. So when I told her I was going on TV, oh my God, the worst thing ever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I guess after she saw the show and she saw what it was, that I wasn't going to be doing anything like a telenovela where I'm like
sexual.
Yeah. She was like, oh, okay. And after I came back, she was okay with it, but before, no.
So she approved the show, but probably still doesn't approve of the pageant stuff.
No.
No. Oh man, that's got to be hard, not having support. I guess that's your support system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe some other. Do you have other siblings?
Yes, I have a brother, and he's always been very supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up to the pageant when I won, and
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, he's very supportive.
That's awesome.
That's important when you're doing stuff that no one. Mm-hmm. I mean, not a lot of people do that kind of stuff or do the things you do. So it's real important to have some support to give you a little bit of confidence and get you through it.
Yeah, I would feel kind of bad sometimes when I would see like the moms show up with the other girls, and I'm like, it's okay, whatever.
What is the pageant life? So when you won, do you own the crown for about a year? Is that it? And then you have to do certain tours and certain events. What does that entail?
So for Houston, it's local, and it is a year. Okay. And I was very active with my platform, which was kids with disabilities. So it was a lot of volunteering, a lot of community service, a lot of networking events, some fashion shows, just photo shoots, a whole bunch of everything.
Yeah.
Really, there's a lot of things, and it was funny because, okay, I told you I was gonna compete in Europa, so I competed that weekend. The weekend after, I crowned the new queen, and then the weekend after, I flew to Dominican Republic to do the show.
That's crazy.
It was crazy, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why I'm like, my life is pretty like calm right now.
Yeah.
It's not like what it was back then. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Do they compensate you for winning or anything like that?
The pageant?
Mm-hmm.
No, the pageant doesn't. It's
Oh,
just
the
the
other one too.
experience.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
That's cheap.
experience.
There's a lot of money being
They're
spent at
getting
that.
they're like
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah, right? Those cheap asses. Good Lord.
No, but I mean, it was a really good experience. I got to meet a lot of people. Like I said, it's all about the experience, really, and giving back to your community, because I haven't been as active like when I was back then, and I do want to go back to giving back, which, you do with people, they're like, hey, I need help, and you try to help them, but being out there with like having a platform, like for me, it was kids with disabilities, and being out there helping with whatever, and just, it's not the same like giving your time versus just, I mean, they're both good, but
Right.
I really enjoy the giving the time.
Yeah.
It fills your soul. It's like it's not like working at the plant where you're helping, I guess, someone else, a coworker. Yeah, but like going and helping kids, it's like it's so rewarding. It feels good. It's like it feels like that's what you're supposed to be doing with your life. So you quit your job during that time. Did they compensate you enough for quitting your job, or was it more for the experience?
No, they did pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they paid pretty good. I mean, they paid me more than what I was making.
Yeah. Well, that's
So,
good.
yeah. And the people that I got to meet, I would have never met if it wasn't for the show. Like Jorge Masvidal.
really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. She said it like that, and I didn't know who it was. I was like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah.
You said it the right way.
Oh my God.
A lot of like parkour athletes, like people that I would have never met otherwise. And then, you just kind of stay in touch with them. We're not as close anymore. Obviously, everybody has their own life, but it's just a cool feeling. Like I just did a podcast with Chelly Cantu. She's a gymnast. So she was in the Olympics in 2008.
Wow.
So we did a podcast about the Olympics since, that was going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's like really cool people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So
And
I feel
it's
like I've had a lot of good experiences. Like I can say I live my life pretty good. It's been fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous. Just a little bit. Okay, so this seems kind of like an athletic show if you got parkour people and Olympians
Yes.
contacting you.
Yes.
So, like, what were you doing? Were you, like, climbing ropes and swinging from poles or what?
Kind of. I mean, there was one. Okay, so the first one we had to push a tire, and then we had to swim across, and then we had to climb, and the next one was like a strength thing. And then all of them at the end, when you were out of breath, it was an aim thing. So you had to knock something down, you had to make a basket. It was aim. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
How long was the event?
I think it was 3 months. I was only there for 2 on the show, and then so I got eliminated, and then they hired you for a week because they're filming a week ahead. So they don't want the audience to know. They don't want anyone to be like, oh, I saw her, she's already out.
Yeah,
They don't want anyone to spoil it. So, yeah. So I was there at the Dominican for 3 weeks, and then we went back for another week for the semifinal. And then one of the guys who was in the semifinal, he got, I forgot what illness he got, but I think it was from the water that they were in. Yeah, and so we had to come back for the final.
You said it's kind of like Survivor. Is it like, do you have to like make your house and like stay in it kind of thing?
No, it's just like Survivor in the sense that you're in an island. You're completely disconnected from everyone. They take your phone away. They took our makeup away. They took our brushes away.
No.
We couldn't brush our hair. Yeah.
That's the worst part.
We didn't have deodorant. I had to go and find lemon trees, and I would cut the lemon, and then that's what I would use as deodorant.
Oh, damn. Roughing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, I mean, it wasn't that bad. And you had to compete for the house, too. Like, you would get what they call a mansion, and then just like a little cottage type of. I only was in the house since I was only there 2 weeks, so I didn't rough it out that much. Not like the other ones did.
Were you happy to leave at that point, or did you wish you could have stayed?
I mean, I don't think I would have minded staying 1 more week.
Yeah.
But, you're disconnected from everybody. And it was like an adrenaline rush every single day because you're competing on TV every single day. And for me, just waiting because what do you call the host, I guess, the TV host? He would talk and announce it, and you're like sitting there ready to go. And that's just like the worst feeling, like the suspense. So I would just hate that feeling. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I seen you posting pictures of vodka. So, or tequila.
Yeah,
okay.
tequila.
Yeah. So is
Come
that,
on, man.
I know, I'm a rookie here.
Tequila.
Is that also you, or is that a joint venture that you're on, or?
That's my cousin's.
Okay.
And I'm working for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long has he been making tequila?
So he started it in 2020. And then this year, we've kind of just been waiting because Mexico owns the word tequila. So if you want to use the word tequila in your name, they have to approve it, and it's like a whole legal thing.
Shit.
So we've been...
What?
Yes.
I did not know that.
So we are still waiting on that. So we're waiting on the label to get approved. We have the name now, but we're waiting on the label.
What if you name it like tequila with a K?
Yeah. I don't know.
Some ghetto ass tequila, man.
Yeah, man. But it's a way to get out of it. You said Mexico has
Mexico.
They have a trademark? The country has a trademark?
Yes. Yeah.
Do other countries have trademarks?
I hope so.
I don't know. But I know Mexico does.
That's it.
Dang.
So where is the tequila being made at?
In Tequila, Jalisco.
Oh, it's actually being made in
Tequila
Mexico.
Tequila is a city in Jalisco where
Okay.
they make the tequila.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we went in December, and we got to see the agaves, and we went on the little tour where they teach you how they make it, and they give you all the samples for you to taste.
Dang.
It was fun.
Trash.
No, I didn't. I tried not to.
Yeah.
But, okay, on the last night I did.
They show pictures of just her passed out on the ground.
She's like just pouring it out.
But what I can say about the tequila is it's really good. The taste is really good because they gave us cantaritos. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I have no idea any of these things.
They're-
You may be saying an English word, I just don't know.
Well, it's a drink, and they give it to you in a little, not a barrel. I don't know what you would call it. Oh,
Flower pot?
that's what it looks like.
Okay.
Like those,
Like a pot, maybe?
yeah, like a pot. I guess. I don't know.
Like a brown pot? Like the
Yeah,
clay. Okay.
Oh shit.
I'll have to show you a picture.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like lemon juice, grapefruit, and I don't remember what else is in it, and tequila. And it's really good, right? But whenever they gave us one with our tequila, that one tasted the best. And it's not just because it's ours, like it really did.
But it was like a blind taste, though. Was it a blind? Oh, you know.
We were
Okay.
just going to different places, and every place we went to, we would get a cantarito. And then when we went to the place, the distillery, where they were, I don't know if it's called a distillery, but the place where they make it,
Yeah.
they let us try it, and they put it in cantaritos. And to me, it was the one that tasted the best, and also it was the one I felt the most. So just
Ooh.
FYI.
Yeah.
Well, they put like fruit and all this stuff in the one that theirs was. Like, we don't know which one it is, but it has like umbrellas.
We have no clue.
Yeah, fireworks shooting out of it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but damn, that seems like a lot to drink if it's in like a flower pot.
So, well, it's not that big. Like it's like that.
Oh, well, geez.
Oh damn.
That's a little flower pot. So it looks just
That's
like
cute.
a
They
little
do sell
glass.
the huge ones though. If you look on TikTok, you'll see I don't know if you have a picture, but they're huge.
That's a pretty cool
And
glass.
you share it. You don't drink it by yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he started it in 2020, waiting on approval from Mexico to use tequila.
Yeah.
And then do y'all have like logistics planned out where it's going to be shipped and sold and all that stuff?
So right now, what they're working on is the minis, so we can at least get them out and have people try them.
yeah.
So they should be out pretty soon, and then that way we can start sending them to stores, to bars, to restaurants, influencers,
Jeez.
and then get the name out there, have them taste it, and then hopefully by the time it comes out, everybody knows about it already.
Dang.
And are you partnering with him or is it just your sibling,
No, it's my cousin.
your cousin?
Yeah.
Cousin. Put him on.
Yeah.
Prima, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ricky,
And
Roll your R's. Jeez.
he named me the what is it? The COO? the
Chief Operating Officer?
CCO, the Chief Communicating Officer.
Oh, damn, dude, that's awesome.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
You need a shirt made with that.
Get a name tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have one. It doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So then you can reach out to your social media influencers and send them a bottle and have them post. That's so crazy. That's a thing. Even like, I know someone that works for Red Bull. That's something they do. They have a budget to pay influencers to put it on their page.
Yeah.
It's like one of the best ways to get, it's not commercials anymore on TV,
It's
you know?
freaking Instagram, man.
Everybody's
with
on their phone
followers.
now.
You on TikTok?
I am on there, but I haven't posted in forever. And the first one that I had, I'm not able to log into it for some reason. So I lost
Got
it.
logged out.
Yeah.
It's such an addictive app.
Yes. When
Even-
COVID hit, I was addicted.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's like it. That was pretty much right when it got popular, right? When COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe that was all the plan.
From China, right?
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Really get them with this thing.
Yeah, my daughters will walk around doing the freaking moves
Yeah.
all the time. And you see other kids like standing in an HEB line. They just can't sit still. You know they're doing a TikTok dance.
It's always crossing to the hands.
Yeah.
With that.
I've heard
A
that.
girl
one.
at Brew and Baker did that.
Yeah,
I thought she was pretty old, but she was just
doing the
making
TikTok.
sure she had the moves right for the next post.
That's
You gotta get it right.
how do people make money off that? So can you fill us in on that? Like, how are people making money off of
Yeah.
TikTok or Instagram or?
Well, usually people make money off of brands. People will pay them to promote their brand.
Just wear a shirt or push a
Wear a
supplement or
shirt,
something.
Push a supplement. I don't know if, like, I've seen chips a lot recently.
Dang.
It's
Chips?
a local one. Yeah.
Oh, chips. Okay.
Chips. Yeah.
I always think it's another meeting with her. Like, what is chips? Damn it, I knew this one. I think I know this one.
Oh my gosh.
Close is a big one.
Yeah.
Especially since you do all the little transitions on TikTok. So boutiques use that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Makeup. Yeah.
Makeup's big.
Yes.
Girls are making a lot out of
Yes.
my girlfriend likes watching the murder. They'll talk about a murder story and do the
I've
makeup.
seen
By the
those,
time they're
yeah.
done, the story's over. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We're talking about
that's
something else.
creative.
It is.
Yeah.
What people will watch.
Yeah.
Do you have ambassadors?
I don't right now.
What?
He's a workout guy.
Yeah. I work out a little bit.
He's flexing.
I'm not as
time.
big
He's about
as
to
your,
lose his
I'm
breath.
not as big as your boyfriend over there, but I'm flexing really hard right now. If you can't tell,
If y'all could see this guy, y'all would run.
I got
away.
veins popping out of my head right now.
Yeah. He might pass out.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Do you know who? He's gonna hate me bringing this up. Do you know who Nick Bear is
No.
with BPN Supplements?
No. Do you know who? No.
No. Dang.
Good.
That must be
Good.
flooded. But they're like taking over everyone I see on Instagram
Really?
as BPN Supplements, and it's like ambassadors. I don't know if they're paying people. I don't know. I wouldn't think they're paying them.
Okay.
But
A lot of people would do it in exchange for product. That's what I've been doing lately.
okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
But I do want to choose like a few athletes. It's just hard, especially when you're starting off. You're trying to figure out who's going to give you a return on your investment and who isn't.
Yeah.
Because you'll have someone who has a lot of followers, but they don't have a community within those followers. It's just, here's a picture of me, I'm pretty, like my picture, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then you have other people, like this girl, she has maybe like 20,000, which is still a good number, right? But it's not like 2 million or 100,000 or whatever. But she does fitness classes over Zoom, and she has this little community. And I sent her one. So I sent someone one, right? And this person had like over 100,000 followers. Didn't really do anything. And then I sent it to this girl who had a community, and right away 50 likes, people bought, and I was like, oh wow. So it's, when you're choosing an influencer, just make sure that you're not just looking at how many followers they have, but who are they, what are they doing for their community? Because when they're involved and they have a little community, those are the people that are more likely to buy.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like the difference between someone that just posts pictures and compared to someone who posts pictures and also does lives and gets interactive?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's better for someone to be more interactive and that would sell a product better?
Yes, absolutely. And also, a lot of people just post without really having a purpose other than look at me. And then there's people that, like I have a friend who's a social media consultant, And she's like, when you post, she's like, make sure that your post either entertains, it informs, or it inspires. She was like, if it doesn't do any of the three, don't post it. So.
Jeez. We need to shut our accounts down.
That was funny. God dang.
So, you know, a lot of people use their Instagram with a purpose. Like you'll have someone who, okay, so you have the girl who is working out and she's posting her butt all day long. And then you have the girl who's giving you advice on, you know, teaching you like this is the right form or this is how you should be eating, blah, blah, blah. Well, the girl who's just posting her butt, all she's getting is likes from creepers, more than likely. Yeah. And the girl who's actually bringing value into your life, you know, teaching you something, that girl's going to have people who are more interactive, more likely to listen to what she says than the other girl.
Yeah,
just learn something here.
Yeah, the butt girl will have a lot of followers.
Yeah, but
I mean, not a lot of
not reactions, but like interactions, I guess, with the account. You also have to watch out too. Like I'm wondering how many accounts are buying followers.
A lot.
We've been trying to build our podcast account, and it's nothing. It's blissful. Like it's nothing there. It's a desert. Like
it's hard.
But I'm wondering, like, man, if we just bought sometimes, like, what is that the move to go? Because it seems like everyone. I don't know a person who hasn't bought. You know what I mean?
But I guess it just depends. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
Like, what's the purpose of your podcast? If it's to impact someone or teach someone or whatever the purpose is, and you just bought followers, some of them are not even real accounts. So nobody's logging in there to look at your content. So do you want followers or do you want to make a difference in someone's life? It's what you want to do.
Yeah, we've definitely been doing the organic way. We haven't.
We'll post and we'll do all the hashtags, and then like 5 messages will come up. I guess they're like they see the hashtag and they it automatically generates promo.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Well, what is that? You can block those. We just learned you can block those.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
There's a setting that you can.
He didn't tell me this.
Yeah, there's a setting you can do and block the promo this or promo it on that.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that crazy how our brains are having to think of what hashtag to use? Do you go that deep? Do you do you have like a set of hashtags that you use, put them on rotation or something?
I have one for the company, for the supplement line, but not for the podcast.
What?
I was thinking we could get blasted with information here.
I was like, wait, what? What's going on?
She's like, I don't do anything.
No, I do for the company. And then for the podcast, I haven't yet, just because I just created the Instagram for that one. So that one has like 30-some followers. And the business page, like if you look at my personal page, it's like 43,000 followers because I was on TV. But then you go to my business page and it's like 600 followers. But I would rather grow it organically and have real customers, because what does a fake follower do for me? Is a fake follower going to buy from me?
Yeah.
No.
You never know. They might accidentally.
I think you could tell the people that buy their followers too, because let's say they have like 40,000 followers, but when they post something, they have like 20 likes.
Well,
you know
even that, I've been struggling with that myself. And my followers, I know, are real, but okay, so I used to get like 2,000 likes per picture, right?
Yeah.
And now it's, depending on what it is, I'll barely make it to 1,000, if that. And then if I post like something like a podcast where it's not a picture of me and it's me talking to someone, it'll get like 50 likes or something. And I'm like, how am I getting 50 likes when I have 43,000? And it just, I don't know. I
wanted to ask you about that. I've noticed that you've been venturing off into like the political realm a little bit. Mm-hmm. Do you think that has anything to do with
I feel like
getting shadow banned a little bit?
Yeah, because, so 1 week I was averaging like 5,000 views per story. And then I forgot what I posted. I started posting something political.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something probably related to COVID. I don't know. And then
don't touch that.
Yeah.
Golly.
And then next week it was like 200 views.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
I posted something on Facebook this morning. I shared it. It was just a picture of an image with words. And it said, "I support mandatory vacations." Mm-hmm. Okay. And then
I've seen that one.
Do you see that one? And then when I shared it, it said like the little COVID, had the little COVID emblem like And then I actually got a comment from somebody is like, well, I don't support that, but I support that. Like they were thinking that I was talking about vaccinations.
Yeah.
I think they were like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I misread that. But those are my views.
Yeah, those are my views. It's crazy. Being, I'm glad we're on this topic now. So you being a Hispanic female, Hispanic and female at that, and your views are more right centered, right?
Right.
I would say.
Yeah, I'm very conservative.
Yeah. So how is that? Like, what kind of feedback do you get from folks on that? Because automatically people would assume, oh, well, she's Latina, and so she's got to be, a liberal.
Okay, so this, I don't understand. Okay, because so I knew nothing, literally nothing about politics before George Floyd. I didn't know there was a right side. I didn't know there was a left side. I didn't know there was a blue and a red side. I had heard about Republicans and Democrats, but nobody talked about politics at home. My mom doesn't know anything about politics. At work, at school, everybody was like, don't talk about politics. Kind of like religion, don't talk about religion. Mm. So I didn't know anything. And then whenever the whole George Floyd thing happened, it was during COVID. So I was reading up and I kept reading and seeing things. And at first I was like, oh my God, that's so horrible because, I'm not racist. So obviously I'm like, oh my God, just like everybody else, like how could they? That's so wrong. But then I kept seeing how they were making such a big deal about it, which, not to say it wasn't a big deal, but a lot of other Black people have died and nobody has made such a big deal like they were with George Floyd. So that, to me, that was kind of like, like why?
Right.
So I started looking into it and I was like, something's not adding up. I'm like, why? Why George Floyd? So I started looking, I started reading, stumbled upon Candace Owens.
Yeah.
And she was talking about that. And I was like, I was right. I was like, I knew it didn't feel right. I was like, something was off. So I started listening to her and I was like, okay. So then I started reading them, go on Google. I know Google isn't always like the best source, but just what's the difference between the two? And I was like, okay, so conservative, liberal. And I was like, why do Mexicans hate Trump so much? Right? To me, that I never understood that because, so back then I was working at a electrical engineering company and it was mostly white males. And I remember I was in my office one day and Trump had just said the whole criminals and rapists thing. And they went in there and they asked me, they're like, are you mad about what Trump said? And I'm like, what did he say? I didn't even know. I was like,
who's Trump?
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I'm over here. I was like, I got to get on my Milson. I was like, and they were like, he said that some people who are crossing are rapists and criminals. And I was like, okay. And they were like, what do you think about that? And I was like, well, I was like, some of them are. I'm like, like, what are you? And he was like, what? Like, I was like, why are you even asking me this? Like, what? And he was like, no, it's because a lot of people are really upset about it. And I was like, okay. So then I went and on YouTube and I listened to it and I was like, okay. I was like, he was very blunt. I was like, he could have said it nicer. Yeah. I was like, but he's not lying. If you ask any girl who's been raped, when she crosses over, she'll tell you that it's true. Like, he's not lying.
Yeah.
So to me, and I just didn't understand why, right? And then I had met Ivory at a gala. So then I saw that she was kind of, hinting at stuff. She couldn't say stuff, but I saw it, and that's when I invited her to be on my podcast. And she told me, she was like, they're censoring me. And I was like, what is going on? I was just like, what is happening? And I feel like once you wake up and you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. Yeah. And you see it everywhere. When you're watching the news, when you're watching a TV show, like you just can't unsee it anymore. And it just blows my mind it's so easy for them to brainwash people. But if you look into it, me personally, right? My family, very conservative. My grandpa, he was born in New Mexico. He took all his kids to Mexico. He didn't let them grow up here in the United States because white girls were too liberal. So he didn't want his daughters to be, so an old school traditional Mexican is conservative. So to me, it was like, why is it that people automatically assume that Mexicans or a female Mexican is going to be a Democrat? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy because so my family's the same. My family is very they hate Trump. I never heard any of my family talk politics until Trump kind of made it mainstream, right?
Okay.
But same in, my thoughts are the same. One side can't be right. You know what I mean? Fox, CNN, MSNBC, they're all lying to us, right?
Yep.
Everyone is wanting to make money. So they're putting false information on headlines. And that's what most people read these days on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, Instagram it is. People will just read a freaking headline.
Yep.
And then they'll be like, well, see, Trump is racist because he said this. Or you see, we're killing people because we're not wearing masks. Like, they get their information from titles on Facebook, which is dangerous. And it was fun. Like, one thing that made me kind of wake up is when I read a story about a kid who died of COVID. And the headline was, it was right when COVID hit. It was like a healthy 21-year-old dies of COVID, something like that. And you click on the article, and then the last paragraph, it says, and this guy had an extreme case of asthma. Like,
Wow.
you didn't actually get that information until the very end of the article.
Yeah, they manipulate the information, and it's so crazy.
It's intense. Do you get feedback or kickback or people talking crap because you're Hispanic and you're more right centric?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Like whenever I had a post, whenever I voted. So I had never voted, right? Because I had never taken any interest in politics. So I was like, I don't care that my vote doesn't even count, like whatever. But after I found everything out last year, I was like, I'm going to vote. I was like, I don't know if it's going to help, but I'm going to vote. And I posted, and I go to church. So the pastor had said, I guess people had been asking him, who do I vote for? And he was like, find out what their policies are. He was like, and the ones that align most with God, he was like, vote for that person. And so I put that as my caption. I didn't put who I voted for. That's all I put. Whoever policies aligns more with God. And people knew right away who I voted for. And I'm like, if you know, why are you mad?
Fool.
Yeah.
How would that give it away?
Well, pro-life.
I got you.
I don't know.
Damn.
It's intense.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the other day how, like, your news feed, there's, like, nothing anymore.
Yeah.
It was all about the president before, and now it's, like, crickets.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on, and there's not those memes and weird stuff that you normally see.
I started following a lot of conservative accounts, so I've been seeing a lot of memes about Biden.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I won't get as much hate now, but the other day some guy posted, because I don't know if you guys follow Jordan Peterson. He's a psychologist.
Yeah.
So he was talking to someone about how when the Spanish flu?
Yeah.
How data was showing that the more cases that they were telling the people about, the more votes for the Nazi party. Something like they were using it as a fear tactic, right? And I posted his, like, a little clip of his podcast that he had shared. I just shared it. And then I had seen a picture that said World War II, and it's like bombs and whatnot dropping from an airplane, and then it says World War III, and it's coronavirus and vaccines.
Oh, God.
So I posted them back to back.
Oh, you're ready for it. You're ready for it. You're like,
Yeah, and then and I didn't open the message, but when you don't follow the person, but it goes to a different inbox.
Yeah.
So I just saw it, but I didn't reply. He was like, "Tan linda" and so full of shit. And I was like, if you don't want to see it, then
unfollow me, fool.
Yeah.
I read some of the headlines from the Daily Wire, which is a pretty conservative newspaper or website. And they were saying, and I don't know how much you can believe this, but they were saying some of the numbers, like from COVID, that they're counting, like people that have died that are not vaccinated, they're counting even the people before there was even a vaccine available. You know what I mean? They're lumping all of 2020 numbers in under that. So again, it's
the numbers are all wrong.
You can manipulate numbers anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's such a crazy topic that no one, like, everyone you're either, if you put a mask on, you love humanity. If you don't wear a mask, you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it
like
doesn't
that.
make any sense. I saw a meme the other day. I think Donald Trump Jr. posted it. And he had put the meme was a mask over the, what's it called? The muffler?
Yeah.
And he says there, I fixed climate or whatever.
Yeah, climate change.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, if it's supposed to, stop a deadly virus, why wouldn't it stop, pollution or whatever? But I thought it was funny.
That's funny.
And a lot of it just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
It doesn't. But they're not reporting the deaths that are caused due to the, people die after they get a vaccine.
To the vaccine.
And our systems are so different. People don't understand. Like, I could get something done, and then you could go and get something done, and our bodies may respond differently.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, hey, it's your choice, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Do what you want. They're trying to force it, and that's what I'm not okay with. Like, if I choose not to get it, I should have the right to not want to get it.
Absolutely.
Especially if it hasn't proven to work. People still get COVID after they get vaccinated. Yeah. You can still spread it. Like, I'm like, what's the difference between getting it and not getting it? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. We tried looking up the numbers of people that passed away from COVID vaccines, and it's like you'll find something, but all of the numbers are always different. And I think that's why you said you started to use search engine DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
So you can.
I love it now.
Yeah.
You can get some information that's not like manipulated.
Yeah.
We just talked to this guy, the solar panel guy. He's talking about people that are considering to install solar panels on their house, and I was like, what are the prices like? And he's like, well, I can't. There's no bundle price. Everything. I go to your house, and then I look at the square footage of your house. I look at your past 12 months of bills, and then I build a package based off what your house is and based off what power you consume. And I know this is kind of a stretch comparison, but for installing solar panels, it's a one customized deal for a house. And to me, it like kind of boggles my mind that there's one vaccine for every body type. To me, that's insane. Like, because no person can have the same diet
exactly
and the same effect. You know what I mean?
We can't even eat the same. How are you supposed to take the same vaccine?
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
That's crazy.
And I saw that they were forcing it in Australia. I posted a video of it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And people kept asking me, what is that? And I was like, fact check me. But it seems like they're forcing it, in Australia. Yeah. And it was so disturbing to see. Because I don't know if you saw it, but it's the little girl gets separated from the dad, and then the police tackle the dad. And I'm like, if the dad's not okay with his daughter getting vaccine, he should have the right to say no. Yeah. I don't know. It's all very disturbing. None of it makes sense to me.
Are you wanting to, on your podcast, are you wanting to dive in more on this political realm?
I will eventually.
Yeah.
I talked to Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said I have to bug his office a lot. So I hate being that person though. But I guess
if you got Dan Crenshaw on, that'd be amazing.
It would be, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Look at you. You're passionate. I can see the passion in your eyes.
It just frustrates me because it just makes me mad.
No, definitely.
It does, because it doesn't make sense.
I think it's formulated that way.
Yeah,
that's why everybody has a problem, and it's two sides, and it's just like football. Like, you gotta talk about your team and get all passionate about it, and you get tribalism.
But it's not even that I'm like, no, don't get the vaccine. No, it's like, if you want to get it, but don't be trying to force it on other people. Yeah, that's what I have a problem with. And if you look at all the censorship that is going on social media, or just the internet in general, you're like, what's happening? Last year I had posted that YouTube was censoring, and somebody commented, oh, it's okay, they're a private company. But then the government came out and said, yeah, we partner with Facebook and we're going to be censoring. I was like, okay, what do you have to say to that now? Yeah. If you look at Cuba, if you look at Venezuela, if you look at other countries, they come for your freedom of speech, and then they come for your guns, and then they do whatever they want with you. Yeah. I have to take them.
No, we're good. So,
okay.
So real quick, how can people get a hold of you and buy your supplements and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so my Instagram is at Brianda.Carrasco, and then the supplement Instagram is BCN Supplements. You can purchase it at www.bcnsubs.com. And then my podcast is Built from the Inside Out. And that's it. Right?
Awesome.
My email is brianda@bcnsubs.com.
Brianda, we had a great time with you, and look forward to many more episodes of your podcast. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, bye.